station at midnight. Wear your high heels, your red dress, and your smile. You look just like this other girl I knew. She was beautiful. And if you want to, maybe we can stay a little longer, stay a little longer. Yeah, dance all night.
Hi there, my name's Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Today is Monday, January 15th, 2024. And I just posted the link to the show on Facebook. And as I said over there, there probably won't be a show next Monday because next Monday I'm flying to the NAMM show. And the following Monday I return that morning. Actually, no, I won't be back home until the evening. So you probably won't have a Monday live show for the next 2 weeks. Will I go live at NAMM? I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. I'm getting ready to go there. I'm still figuring out how to do the videos. If I'm going to go live, I don't know. If anything amazing happens, I might just go live from the hotel room on my phone, even, just like a low-key live stream from the phone. I don't know if I've ever done that before, but that's definitely an option. But most likely no live stream for the next 2 weeks, and then some NAMM content when I get back, and then back to the live streams again, I imagine is what will happen. So, hope everyone's doing well. I'll just tell you what I've been up to this week. I've been working on a review of a Fishman acoustic amp, but I've got to redo it later because I recorded it last night and was very happy with it, but the radiator came on and the hiss was all over the recording. So I thought I can't post that because everyone's going to say the amp is hissing, and it's not, it's the radiator. And before you say anything, that wasn't what caused the hiss on my Fender video. That amp does hiss, although I'm waiting to hear if the new versions of it have been fixed or not. So I am going to reshoot that when we're done here. I'm also waiting for the Maton to be returned from Australia. I paid to have that sent to and from Australia to have them repair it. And apparently they've done everything. And it's going to come back today. So if I do hear the doorbell, I'm going to run off and get the door. If I miss it, actually I don't even care if I miss it. What I don't want to be doing later is recording a video while wondering if they're going to knock on the door and then completely disrupt my flow. So I kind of hope they either bring it during this live stream or I miss the delivery, and then I can just focus on what I'm doing later on. Yeah, we can talk about the NAMM show. We can look at the map again, go over any companies you want me to go and check out while I'm there. I'm sure I'll check out most of them, honestly, but let me know if there's anyone you definitely want me to focus on and for what reason. I'll give you an overview of that today, like a NAMM preview. And I will talk a little bit about the Inception, the Martin Inception guitar. I didn't make a video about it because I saw other people making videos about it. And most of the things they revealed are what we covered on the day before on my stream anyway, right? Most of it had leaked, like the woods and the bracing. And then I saw other people make these videos about the guitar, and some of them are pretty critical videos, and I don't agree with that, because you need to play it first of all. So I was disappointed that Martin announced it and didn't have it in the stores to play, because what you then get is a bunch of people making videos that haven't even played the guitar. I've done that with some products before, but I don't think I'd ever, I mean, I hope I haven't done this, because I'm now going to say I would never do this. I don't think I'd ever hear about a new product, make a reaction to it and say it sucks and it's overpriced because of X, Y, and Z. I don't think that's fair or realistic. It's one thing just to say Martin have announced a new guitar and these are the specs and, you know, give the facts, but to actually give judgment on a guitar you haven't even played. And some of the people in the comments too, I left a comment on the Sweetwater video that I thought the guitar sounded great and I can't wait to try it. And someone said that I'm a Martin shill and trying to protect my Martin sponsorship. So I replied, well, I haven't got a Martin sponsorship. And actually, if you want to watch my channel, you'll see I've been pretty damn critical of Martin guitar the last 12 months. But I try to keep a balanced opinion and open mind with these things. Of course, that guitar appeals to me. The Inception guitar appeals to me because I like colorway guitars. I like medium-sized guitars. I like Martin guitars. I like the Anthem. So, of course, that appeals to me. And so I'm going to have, if that's my opinion, that it appeals to me, I'm going to say it. Don't call me a shill, please. And I say it again, you need to play the guitar first. Yes, okay, it's not cheap. It's you might not like the finish or whatever, but it's the sound is always the most important thing. So you need to play the guitar, and do you like how it sounds or not? Otherwise, you're just fighting online. I think the biggest mistake Martin made was to not have them ready to ship the minute they announced it. But that's often the case. The marketing want to announce the product before it's actually shipping. I kind of was kicking myself because Sweetwater had a fairly beaten up demo model that they said they were sent from Martin to basically to do their demo with. And then they demoed it. So it had a lot of marks on it, but they sold it at a discounted price. I kind of kicking myself for not buying that, because I could have had it the next day or 2 days later with free shipping. And I could have already made an actual review of the actual guitar. And the other thing that would have been cool with that, I've thought today, we heard their recording with their microphones. I could have done my recording with my microphones and even compared the two recordings. Really interesting stuff. I wish I bought it now. I kind of messed up with that. But I put an order in for a new one. And I told them, look, if I don't love it, I'm going to send it back. I'm being very transparent about that. They said, fine. There's no deal there or anything. They're not expecting me to make a video. I don't even tell them that I make a video, to be honest. I only make the video if I feel it's worth making. So if I love the guitar and decide to keep it, I'll definitely make a video, of course. And if there's something that I really don't like about it, I'll make a video, but I'll show what I don't like about it in the video. I won't just say it sucks. All right, anyway, that's how I feel about that. It kind of got me worked up a bit, that release. But I am very happy and excited to try the guitar. Of course, I'll also try the guitar at NAMM. So if I play the guitar at NAMM and think the guitar is just not for me at all, I'll just cancel the order. Because I don't think they're going to be shipping until February anyway. So yeah, I kind of wish I'd ordered the demo unit now. Okay. Nick Johnson says, happy Monday. Looking forward to a great show. Did you see Sweetwater accidentally showed a new silver sky color? Yes, it's already been leaked on Facebook. I think it's t-shirt black and some dark blue color, which is cool. I like those colors. But I think if I was going to buy a silver sky, I'd buy the silver one because it's a silver sky. And they're always sold out. But I would never do it anyway because I don't love the neck on them. I don't love those guitars. I ended up preferring the SE version of that guitar. I'm actually really glad I turned the heater off yesterday because it's still hot enough despite being freezing cold where I live, and there's no hiss in today's stream because that's really annoying. Vito Wynn is here in New Orleans. Good to see you. Dr. McFarland is driving in the snow. Yeah, he's down near Tennessee. There's lots of snow there today. For anyone that doesn't know, I am in America. I'm not in England or Australia. And we're getting pummeled by snow. New York the East Coast hasn't quite got it yet. Although they had it in Jersey last week, I think. So yeah, not fun. There's lots of snow days today, which is and it's a holiday as well, Martin Luther King Day. So good day to go live. Patsy's in a cold Suffolk, UK, and Rosanna says good evening, everyone here. Happy Monday. And Madfrit Manchester says big hello from Manchester. Madfrit Manchester, what's the latest with the guitar? So Toman offered to have the guitar I bought set up if I can get them a invoice, but I actually emailed them today. Excuse me. I emailed them today and said I'd like to just return it, even though it's going to cost me money to return it to Germany. I'm kind of at the stage now where I'm like, you know, it's one thing if you build guitars or you know how to repair guitars and you want to buy a guitar, fix it up, and then review it. You know what? I don't really want to do that. I will review it. I'll get my money's worth from all the shipping I paid for that guitar. So I will do a review of the Cole Clark style pickup, because some people will be really interested to hear that and how it compares to the actual Cole Clark pickup. So that will be worthwhile. I may even review the guitar and say what they need to do with that guitar to make it perfect. And I'll definitely tell them that if I see them at the NAMM show as well. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I don't really want to take that. I have to travel like an hour and then maybe travel back and then travel back to pick it up again. What? Just so I can have some end pin strap buttons put in it, have the frets fixed, have it all set up nicely, make a review, and then sell it at a loss to someone. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I definitely think that's a great guitar, but it's got some teething problems. And it is a brand new model, and I'm sure it will be improved. Or let's just say it's a brand new model, and new models often need to be improved. So if they agree to me sending it back, I'm going to make those 2 videos and send it back. Okay. Same with the Maton. The Maton's coming back today. They've replaced the bridge, which is partly my fault, but I'll mention that. I'll talk about that another time. But the bridge repair was an actual repair, right? That was not a problem with the guitar as such. The frets were a little bit sharp feeling, so they've filed those down. Not from humidity, but just the actual like bevel of them were a bit sharp feeling. The battery was popping out when I closed the case. Apparently that's a problem with the battery cradles, which is now fixed. So that's got a new cradle. And they shielded the pickup so it doesn't hum. Remember I said it had some hum in there. So it's the same thing. This has got me in a quandary as well. When I do make a video on that guitar, I need to be transparent and say that. Because at the end of the day, if you buy the guitar, you probably don't want to send it to Maton to have them do those repairs. So a little bit negative, but I think those things need to be fully disclosed. And of course, I would much prefer it if I didn't have to send the guitar back. And again, hopefully it won't be taken as criticism by Maton. It'll be taken as constructive criticism, where in that they can actually do these things on the future guitars and they'll be improved as a product. But who knows? They might be mad at me. We'll see. That's the thing about YouTube, is you have to be transparent with all the time. And at the end of the day, it's wonderful when you get a product that's perfect, or as close to perfect as they can ever be, and you can come on here and say this thing is amazing and you should really buy one. That really seldom happens, if ever. There's probably no product that you could say is perfect for everybody, to be fair. So that's something that I struggle with it all the time. It's like, how do I put this across? I don't want to. There's so many ways to say something. I could say, well, I bought a Maton and had to send it back to them at my own expense to get it to be happy with it. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have bought that model and not had a problem with it, and I am always looking for the problems, to be fair. So yeah, it's a tough one, but I can only say I can only have my expectations and talk about my expectations. That's why I'm here, right? That's why it's the Aaron Short channel, because I'm talking about what I want to see and what I need. So I have to disclose everything. All right. Sandy Hills is here. A bit late, but Happy New Year. Nice to see you. You too, Sandy. Been a long time. Madfit Manchester, thanks for the tip last week. Loosening the screws on the Baton Rouge and realigning the preamp top plate has helped reduce the friction. Yeah, I actually did that on my Cole Clark because the mic control was a bit tight. And I think it made it a little bit better. I don't really care because it does turn. It's just harder to turn than the others. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because I don't want them to be too easy to turn either. But ironically, the Baton Rouge that I still have here has the easiest controls to turn. So that's something good about the guitar. Erling Moxness, how you doing? Hi from Norway. Do you have any experience with buffers and if leveling resistance mismatch between pickup and preamp will improve the tone? I have to read that again. Hang on. Do you have any experience with buffers, a buffer? For acoustic guitar or electric guitar or anything? Leveling resistance mismatch between pickup and preamp will improve the tone. Well, the buffer, the preamp, the impedance will affect the tone. Yes. but it also depends on what you're using. So, for example, I'm now doing the review of this Fishman acoustic amp, right? It has a preamp. It has the impedance is set to 10 mega ohms. So, for example, if you plug in a Fishman active pickup into that, it won't matter because there's already a buffer and a preamp in the Fishman, in that particular Fishman system that I'm going to be demoing with the amp. If you plug in a passive sound hole pickup or a passive like K&K, any kind of passive pickup, it's then looking basically for the impedance. So that will really affect the tone. So something like a K&K, if you plug it in and the impedance is too low, it will take away a lot of low end. And that's why they recommend 1 mega ohm impedance. I think that's, am I right? Yeah, 1 mega ohm impedance, because it's got so much low end anyway, and that reduces it down. So many people don't like to have batteries in their guitar. The reason I like to have batteries in my guitar is that it does have the it sets all that stuff ready to go. So whatever you plug into is not a problem. Otherwise, the preamp or the device you plug into next can drastically affect the sound of the guitar plugged in. So some people will like that. It means you can tailor the sound. You know, you could even plug in a K&K to like a digital product like the Helix Stomp, and it lets you set the impedance. So you could actually set the impedance you want at that time specifically. Pretty cool. But on the flip side of that, if you go to Open Mic and plug into a line input on their mixer, because they've run out of inputs, it's going to sound like it's going to sound terrible. That happened to me one night. Absolute disaster. So that's why I like to have a battery in my guitar. I like to know when I plug into something at any venue, I'll have that same consistent sound. But yes, when you say improve, it can certainly change, improve, and worsen the tone for sure. As can the preamp you're plugging into, as can everything else in the signal chain. Rex is here in Phoenix. Good to see you, Rex. Lee's here. Good to see you, Lee. And tell me, what did you all think of the Inception? I mean, I'd be interested to know. Martin have released quite a lot of videos about it. I would like to have seen more playing videos. The marketing lately has gotten a little bit kind of Apple-esque, if you like. You know, I really like it. I really like how it looks. I don't agree with these people that are slamming this guitar at all. And that's not me being a shill. I love the inlay. I love the color. That's a similar kind of burst to what the authentic Triple O I have. I'm selling that guitar. I haven't sold it yet. But I love the finished color of that guitar. Same finished color. It's got the Bags Anthem. Great. You know, I think it looks awesome. I really do. I also noticed on the demo model that Sweetwater was selling on the day of release, it's very light as well. 4 pounds, 2 ounces. That's one of the lightest GPC guitars on the market. I don't know what people are talking about, honestly. Also, do note that it ships with Kovar strings. And I don't know why lately, but Martin is shipping a lot of guitar with Kovar strings and not their regular Lifespan SP. Not sure if they're running out of materials. That could be a possibility. So the first thing I would do is, as I'm used to Lifespans, is take these off and put Lifespan on. And then decide, does it sound good or not? That's the answer right there. I really hope it sounds good. I think it looks fantastic. And the fact that Saturn doesn't bother me, my Cole Clark's a Saturn. I'm very used to Saturn guitars. The maintenance Saturn as well. So, yeah, don't like all the hate. Kind of annoyed me, to be honest with you. Yeah, same time, I'm also I'm not getting too excited. I mean, look at I don't like this graph very much. I mean, look, 6% increase of amplitude. 6%, that's nothing really. Sustained 20%. Okay, you know. And as some people have said, there's nothing wrong with maple as it is. Like, do we need to tweak? The reason I've done all this high-tech stuff here is to change the sound of the maple and walnut. And some people have said, do we need to do that? Why not just make it out of maple? I'm planning on trying to do a video when I get this guitar. What I'd like to do is compare it to, well, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. See if I can borrow some stuff, because I want to compare this to obviously the Maton GPC. It's not a GPC, it's an OM deep body, but it's close. I want to compare it to the Maton, which is made from Australian tone woods. I want to compare it to the Cole Clark, which is made out of blackwood. I want to compare it to the Rain Song behind me, which is made out of carbon fiber, which is something I was hoping for. A lot of people were hoping for. And I'd like to try and get hold of, a friend of mine has a Taylor GPC, and I'd like to try to get hold of a Maple Martin. I want to do the comparison that other people should be doing, which is comparing this to other guitars, not just playing it in isolation by itself. Like at Sweetwater, when they did their demo, they have access to so many guitars. And also Martin were there. Why didn't Martin take the same guitar made out of maple with regular bracing and let us hear the difference? And also the same shape made out of rosewood and Sitka. You know, I want the comparisons. Essentially, if I strum it and I think it sounds terrible, I wouldn't even bother. But if I thought it sounded great, then I would go down a more granular route of actually trying to make a real comparison. And yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that, because there's so many people that have access to more guitars than me that could do that. But I just got a feeling no one else is going to do it. So I'm going to try, even though it'd be a load of hassle. I'm going to try to do it, but only if the guitar sounds great in the first place. You know, that's obviously very important. So Julian is here. Hope you're doing well. You too. Isaac is making us all feel bad by saying it's a beautiful sunny day in New Mexico while we're shoveling snow. T says, hey Aaron, good evening all. I'm looking forward to see what else Martin brings out. Think Friedman have some vintage amps coming out. I've seen some great leaks. I'm getting really excited, I've got to say. Someone today posted a picture of a new Synergy head. So Synergy is that system. I had the combo for a while. They have the combo and the head, and you load your own preamps into it. So you can make it any amplifier you want. And the bigger heads have 2 or 4 slots. So you can have a 4-channel amp of like basically 4 amps in one. It's fantastic. And it looks like they're bringing out a new version with IRs built in. What a great thing. So an amp head that will power a cab, go direct with IRs, which is basically your cab simulator, very high quality cab simulator, and you can load in the amp modules that you want. That's going to be great. Martin also have the SC18 and the SC28. I'll definitely play those at the NAMM show. I'm not as interested because of the neck being so thin on those. I'm more interested in the GPC, but I will play them for sure, obviously. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff at NAMM. I just wish there was more. I wish Fender were going. I wish PRS were going. But it's going to be great. Friedman have some vintage. Well, they got. They're going and they have a booth. Because obviously Friedman and Synergy are the same company, and they've got a decent sized booth, so they're going to have stuff to show for sure, which is great. Noah says, I like the Inception, but it has a very Taylor sound. Nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't sound like a Martin. Beautiful guitar. I agree, it's beautiful. I'm withholding judgment on the sound. And you know why? And no one said this yet. I haven't yet done I've just bought some Kovar strings to make a comparison of Kovar strings versus Martin lifespan strings. No one's really talking about this, and I've already just said it. I'll say it again to make it clear. Martin always shipped pretty much all of their guitars with lifespan acoustic strings. When they released the D19, they shipped it with Kovar strings. And some of the reviewers and demoers said that they would rather have the other string, the lifespan strings on there. Now, I think that's a mistake because we're all so used to the sound of the Martin Lifespan, and I haven't compared them, so I might decide I prefer Cover. I don't know yet, but I certainly think one of the problems is when you release a brand new model like the Inception and it has different strings as well. You're just taking away all your reference points. And let's say it's the strings. It could be the strings that you don't like on the guitar. It's possible. It does happen. Some guitars will take any string just fine and sound great. Some guitars sound way better with some strings. I've noticed that. So I mean, yeah, it really is a unique. I want to say it's not a Martin at all, but they're making it. But at the end, and it does have the scallop bracing. It just has the taller bracing with the holes in it, the skeletized bracing. But at the end of the day, they're also shipping it with different strings. I mean, they couldn't make it any more unique, could they? So I just think I don't think anyone should be saying they've heard some demos and it doesn't sound good. I think there's too many variables. I think there's not enough videos. I saw a D19 video that sounded terrible. And then the other week I saw a D19 video that sounded fantastic, simply because of the way they mic'd it up. Now, people said on the Sweetwater video, they've probably done post-processing. Well, maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But the fact of the matter is, the way you mic up a guitar makes a huge difference. And I'm not saying that the way I mic guitars is great, by the way. I just whack a Neumann KM microphone in front of the guitar in a fairly untreated room and record it dry. That's what I do. But my point I'm trying to make is, because a guitar sounds bad in a video doesn't mean it sounds bad in person or even in another video. So be careful of that. If you don't believe me, check out the D19 demos. There's some of the early demos, and then there's a later one, really well shot. I can't remember who did it, but it sounds incredible. So that's my point. I think there's too many variables with a guitar demo, and you need a lot of them. You can't just go by one person's demo. You need to watch like 10 and take an average of all of them. So yeah, I think the marketing was well done for this guitar, but I think that they messed up by not having at least a handful in stores. Like, if I could have got mine 2 days after it was released, and I've ordered one. I mean, if I could have bought mine 2 days after release and I put some new strings on that sounds great, I would now be on. I would have made a video already saying this is a great guitar, and I would now be on here with you saying this is a great guitar, and you'd then be much more interested. I think they left too much scope for people to be negative by not allowing us to have them in our hands. And I actually do think they should have gone even further and sent some demo units out to people like me and the other acoustic channels, just to say, hey, check it out, and if you want to make a video, go ahead. Even if we had to send it to them first or something like that, even if it was a part of the release campaign. But just try to bring people, try to make it more human. Also, somebody won a guitar. They gave a guitar away, but they haven't announced who that winner is. It would have been fantastic if the winner had been presented their guitar at the factory and they'd given a report of it, or if Chris Martin had delivered it in person. Bring in that human element. There's no human element anymore with a lot of this marketing. And people love the human element. Every time Apple do a keynote, they start with how the Apple Watch has saved someone's life. So that's what Martin should have done. They gave one away. They haven't told us who won it. They should have taken it in a video to the winner and said, play it. And also they could have had one of their players with them to play it for them. If they're a beginner, then they could have had someone like Craig Thatcher play on it and recorded that. We've all got these great handheld recorders now. Record that. And then have some YouTubers that do a lot of acoustic stuff, give their input as well, just so it's more of an even playing field and not just a couple of store demos, a couple of Martin demos, and then, they knew everyone's back would be up to start with. Whenever Martin do something brand new, the traditional people get their backs up straight away, and especially if the price is high, people get mad straight away. We know that from history. Although the interesting thing is, in my opinion, is that Martin have done a lot of modern things. They released the retro guitar with the built-in side controls. They've actually used carbon fiber in the past. They've done a lot of unique things over the years. They've made like a metal guitar, right? Out of metal. They've done all these unique, crazy experimental guitars, and they have released them. They do try new things, but they always get attacked by the traditional people as soon as it happens because everyone wants their D28 and their D35. So as a way to offset that, if they just done the things I just mentioned, I think it would have really helped the release. On the other hand, they're probably thinking, well, they'll be in stores in a month's time and it will speak for itself. And hopefully it will speak for itself. Hopefully they don't release a guitar that isn't a great guitar. What about the price? You see, I think the price is fine, and people will knock me down for that as well. Let me just give you my point of view, and my point of view might be unique, but as someone that plays gigs professionally, and you've seen the sort of guitars that I like to buy, I don't have a problem buying $3,000-$4,000 guitars because it's an expense, and my philosophy is when I play out, I want to be very comfortable. I want to play a high quality instrument that inspires me to do a great show. That's the truth of it. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't worry about my gear, and there are days where I don't want to take a certain guitar to a certain venue, and yes, I do have those thoughts. Like, I don't want to take my Mesa tube amp and my custom shop Strat to a bar gig. I would take something like Quad Cortex or a Kemper and like the PRS SE. I would take something like that. So I get it. It's not that I don't think that way. A part of me wishes that I didn't. Part of me wishes I just had a few amazing pieces of gear and just used it for everything because life is short. But I think a lot of people, no, it's not fair to say a lot of people. I see people in the comments of these videos saying things like, well, I don't want to buy a $4,000 stage guitar because I don't play many gigs. I mean, that's fair enough. And to be honest with you, that's why Martin don't make many guitars like that. That's why Martin stopped making the GPC and the HTC altogether. Because not many people do play gigs, and a lot of people that go out and play gigs, quite rightly so. I'm not saying I'm doing the right thing here. If you play out in dive bars once a month, you're probably not going to take a $4,000 Martin. You're going to take a $300, or like the one we just had on the show from Toman, right? The Baton Rouge, something like that. Something that's not as good feeling and playing, but you don't worry about it so much in case someone steals it. So I do get it, and it's at the end of the day, that's why Martins sell a ton of OM28s and a ton of 0018s. And a ton of D35s. And that's why in the pandemic, they stopped making colorways altogether because the Martin customers don't really want them. But then there's people like me. I do want a colorway, and I do want a GPC style body, a medium style body, and I do want an Anthem in there or similar. I was actually hoping for a new pickup system, but the Anthem is solid. That's one of my favorites, as you know. So that is why I got so attacked on my comment last week on Sweetwater, because basically, this is exactly the guitar that I want from Martin, and I'll happily buy one. And if it sounds great and plays great, I mean, I'm not against even using this at my shows and switching over from Cole Clark. I'm a massive Cole Clark fan, and it would take a lot for me to want to do that. But if this guitar sounded incredible in the room and played better than the Cole Clark, I have no problem switching. I'm not loyal to gear anymore. I'm not shilling for anyone. I'm completely independent, right? And that's the great thing about being independent. You can just jump around, do what you want. Respectfully, of course. I'm never gonna like say something sucks because I don't use it anymore. But my point is, I'm not against any of that. But I understand for people where that's not for them not liking it. But why have that attitude? Martin just released the D19, so buy a D19, and Martin will have other models at the NAMM show. Some of which are very expensive, but there we go. That's the NAMM show. It's the state of the industry right now. You don't have to buy it, do you? You can still buy your OM28. The problem will become when you can't buy your OM28 anymore, and your OM28 will be an OM28 Inception. Potentially. So I do think right now, if you're looking for a classic guitar, you should consider. I'm not going to tell you to buy anything, but I do think, I do think things are changing very fast with the wood situation and everything. So I do think if you're like long-term goal is an OM28, you should probably look at an OM28 sooner than later. That's all I'm going to say. And also give yourself time to shop around. Look at the photographs. I noticed just yesterday on Sweetwater, many Martins now have the nice dark fretboard again. So that's great. And you can choose the one that you want, the weight that you want. Not be in a rush because everything's running out quickly. Academics will say ideal impedance is zero output impedance and infinite input impedance as the signal is split in relation to those impedances. I really don't understand it, Danielle, but I would basically, I just do it by ear. I do it by what the manufacturer suggests and by ear. So with anything with a battery, you don't have to think about it. They're already setting it in their preamp. With anything passive, which I'm not really a huge fan of anyway, but check with them. So K&K will say we recommend 1 meg ohm. Okay. Fact of the matter is, if you use a higher input, like if I plug that into the Fishman, it will have more low-end response, but you can just simply turn the bass down on the amp and not being funny. There's always ways to mitigate that. At the end of the day, it's all EQ, isn't it? So T says, I think it's overpriced. So I want to know why you think it's overpriced. I don't disagree. There's a few things like, okay, it's sustainable wood. It's not Adirondack. I get that. There's no gloss finish. That's saving them money. I get that. A lot of the companies like Maton and Cole Clark will tell you that sounds better. Don't know if that's true or not, but there we go. Don't forget, it does come with the Anthem installed. So that's and the Anthem now is more expensive than it used to be. Don't forget that Martin prices are now between $3,000 and $3,500 for a standard series guitar, which isn't far off that. And although you're going to say yes, but it's using the sustainable woods, etc. Yes, but don't forget of the R&D, the research and development that went into this guitar. They had to figure out all that stuff with the bracing and everything, and that does cost time, and that therefore time is money. So we mustn't forget that. You can also assume that the next one might be cheaper. Next week, Apple are going to release their new headset. I was really into VR for a long time, but the more I think about it lately, the less I want to get into that stuff. Maybe I should jump on it and try and do some music stuff in there somehow, so I don't miss the boat like I did with YouTube. But the point I'm trying to make is that's going to be $3,500 for the first version with hardly any storage in it and a lot of compromises. But you can bet the next version out next year will be cheaper and better. So you can also bet the next Inception will be a little bit cheaper or a little bit better somehow. This is the first version. It's another reason maybe why you shouldn't buy one until you watch my review, because it's the first version. Maybe there's some things they're going to tweak about it. We don't know. But yeah, I just come back to it's all about the sound. If that thing sounds fantastic and is lightweight, what a great guitar for stage and all-round great guitar. And if it's not, if it sounds worse, I mean, look, the thing is, I wasn't a huge fan of the GPC. It wasn't my best sounding guitar that I ever had. So what does that mean? I'm definitely going to compare this to some other guitars. But I do know, to me, what sounds good and what sounds bad. And I'll know very quickly. I mean, I think my Matons sound great. I'd love to compare it to the Matons, because the Matons don't have this fancy technology. They just have X bracing and Australian tone woods. So let's see. I've got two Matons. I can compare it to the two Matons. Randy, hope you're doing well, Randy. John said, valid point about different strings. Yeah, I don't think they didn't do themselves any favors by like, here's a new bracing, new woods, new strings. And yes, they didn't put the Evo fret wire or stainless steel frets. That would have sold it to me. I think they messed up with that. But I guess it's just an expense thing. Yeah, Nick, it really bugs me. I see giveaways every week online, and I never hear who won them. So please do feel free to email Martin and ask who won the Inception giveaway, because I don't know if I want to do it, because I'm going to see them next week at NAMM. But if you want to email them and say, hey, just wondering where we can get the information of who won the guitar. Because there's, I mean, maybe it's a privacy thing. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I'd won it, and then I could have done my review already. And if I'd won it, then someone would have said, Martin, send it to you for free because you work for them, even though I don't. Danielle says, always thought Sound Pure always did good demos from a quality point of view. Offhand, can't recall flat top brands used for demos. Sound Pure, I'm not sure what that is. That might be the video I'm talking about. But yeah, that really opened my eyes. The two videos I saw one video of the D19 I thought was terrible, and I saw one video of the D19 I thought it sounded $1 million. And there you go. It's, you know, also don't forget the pick you hold, the way you play, the room you play in, the way you hold the guitar, the way your arm goes across the guitar, your body, you know, your body shape, the way you hold the guitar, the way, you know, because some people strum with their arm over the top and it mutes the top. It's so many factors of these things that can affect that stuff. So a couple of videos won't tell you for sure. I've only seen their marketing video again and again. What do you mean, you watched it a lot or they keep replaying it? I have seen quite a few I've watched it a few times. I don't like there's one where they cut it in half and they put that up today. I don't like the music in that. I want to hear the guitar, not this sort of modern music. I've seen quite a few high-end flat tops at small venue acoustic mics and so on. Yeah, you know, it's fair. You know, to each their own. Okay, I want to make it clear that I have those thoughts of I should take a cheaper guitar to a bar gig and not take it to a regular, you know, I have those thoughts too. But I think it's simply because I place out so much, I want to always be fully comfortable as well. So there's two ways to look at it. When I saw John Mayer a few months ago, I wondered why he took his Dumble for one song and didn't just take a Kemper. Well, I guess he wants to play the Dumble. And this stuff is all relative, isn't it? Because if my $4,000 guitar gets damaged, that's a terrible thing for me based on you know, where I'm at. Imagine if John Mayer's priceless $200,000 Dumble gets stolen. Then we're in the same boat, aren't we? So a lot of this stuff is simply personal preference. There's a lot of people that don't want to take a $4,000 guitar to an open mic, and there's a lot of people that do want to take a $4,000 guitar to an open mic. And when they released the SC body, they went to the Mexico plant and made cheaper guitars. And some people love that. Do you remember? Don't forget, in 2000 and 2020, don't forget in 2020, how many people, including me, complained that the Martin SC guitar was made in Mexico and was an affordable guitar with a cheaper pickup system? And by the way, I'm not saying that Mexican guitars aren't good guitars. That they surely are. But a lot of people complained, including me, that it wasn't made in Nazareth. It wasn't made of rosewood. And it didn't have an anthem in it from stock. That was me. So now we've got the opposite. Now we've got a guitar that's the first one's made in Nazareth. So, you know, just let it play out. Like don't. Everyone's got to complain about everything, you know. I say share that stuff around. The bracing does not make structural sense, says Greg. I have to assume that Martin have tested it, and you do get your lifetime warranty. I don't know. Look, I'm not going to defend them completely, Greg, because I remember when the Modern Deluxe first came out, I bought one, and the truss rod was rattling. And then I played another one a while later, and the truss rod was rattling. And then a little while later, they changed from the material they were using of the truss rod to a different material. Remember that? Now, I don't know if that's related or not, but it seems a coincidence, doesn't it? So I'm not saying that they're Martin are perfect and do know what they're doing. And you're right. And you know what? That's another reason why you shouldn't rush out and buy the first of anything. You shouldn't buy the first Apple headset. You shouldn't buy the first iPhone. You shouldn't buy the first of a new construction from Martin. I totally believe that. I mean, I'm doing it because I am such a fan of this particular guitar style for what I do. And also because I have the YouTube channel and I want to report on the guitar, let's face it. But I would advise most people to wait and see if there are any issues before they purchase such an expensive instrument. If there was a goal with lightness and stiffness, they could have picked a better pattern. Well, the guitar certainly is light from what I've seen, and that makes me very happy because it's about 10 ounces lighter than the Cole Clark, which is cool. That's a good thing. Randy says, on my worst day, I sound exactly like me. Yep, and on my best day, I still sound exactly like me. Lately, I've been bringing my Reverend T-style guitar to open mics. I've been leaving the archtops at home. That's why I bought see, this great example here. The reason I bought a Reverend a few years ago is because I got into some wedding gigs, and I wanted just a solid guitar that I could take out and play and not worry about it too much. You know what happened? This is a funny situation because it actually turned out to be an amazing guitar feature-wise. Actually, the tremolo bar stayed in tune way better than any of my Fender and Sir guitars. The noiseless pickups from Fishman I thought were great, especially in that kind of environment. But I just didn't love the feel of... I just didn't bond with the guitar, the neck and the feel of it. And maybe the brand, I don't know if I'm completely honest, but something just didn't click with me. And I sold it, and Reverend don't have the best resale value, so it was all a bit of a disaster, really. But there are budget guitars that are great, like the PRS SE guitars are fantastic, and there are guitars for $1,000 that are great gigging guitars. And then there's also the argument of just get the absolute highest end electric you can get, and just take it out and just enjoy it. So it's got to be a personal decision. To use Martin's own words, it's made from sustainable and domestically abundant woods. We're always being told the reason we pay a high price for guitars is because of the scarceness of woods. That is true. They are contradicting themselves. Hey, it would have been nice if the Inception was $2,000, and it would have got into the hands of a lot more players. You just see them everywhere, wouldn't you? But there's so many factors with the pricing, isn't there? I mean, like I said, I definitely believe the R&D expects a premium, definitely. 4,000 is more than I was expecting. I would have thought maybe 3,000, 2,999. It does have the full Anthem. That is a pretty expensive pickup system. Yeah, I don't know. I think Martin also probably have to think to themselves, well, we don't want to eat our own lunch, Like if the D18 now is 2,800, we need and this one has the pickup system and the cutaway. They've always charged more for the Sunburst and the pickup and the cutaway as well. So that's why in my mind it does kind of line up. I was shocked at first at 4,000, and then I thought about it and thought, well, it does line up. I just wish it maybe had the gloss finish, and I just wish it had the Evo fret wire. That would have been a much easier thing to swallow. John said, I actually took a $4,000 guitar and a backup to open mic. There you go. See? You got to do what makes you happy. Rex says, I had opportunity to play several CEO7s around the country, and combined with your and other YouTubers' reviews, I ordered one from a reputable shop to install the Anthem. It's been great. Yeah, the CO7 is a great guitar. It is. But if you want a cutaway and you want the Anthem installed at the factory, I don't know. I still say, for me, it's the problem is I don't know what it sounds like. It's such a new build. It's such a new bracing pattern. It's such a new. Oh, by the way, this very similar bracing pattern to the Riversong guitars. I just want to play it. That's why I'm so frustrated that they're not available yet. I want to just sit here and play it. This is the truth. This is how I feel anyway, and I'm sure I'm sure you don't feel the same as me, because I'm just so into this stuff. But if I play it in the room and acoustically, it sounds amazing, better than all my other guitars, and plugged in, it sounds in the same kind of ballpark as like the Maton and the Cole Clarks. I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine. That's great. The only thing I'd be mad about is there's no stainless steel frets. That's it. If it doesn't, if I don't love it, then yes, at that point for me, yes, $4,000 is too much money. That's all that matters to me. And the problem with this guitar is it's so new, it's all so new, and such uncharted waters. We don't know. And that's why I'm kind of pissed off at Martin, because they've thrown us the bait here, and we don't know, And it annoys me because I don't mind getting one, because Sweetwater don't mind if I return it, and I have the YouTube channel, and I want to try it. But it's a bit maddening to me that I have to order it and strum it and figure out for myself if I like how it sounds. Why didn't we get some more videos and some more independent videos on the release day? Why didn't we get some comparison videos using the same mics? Why didn't they make a GPC out of Rosewood and Sitka, a GPC Inception, and played and a GPC Maple with regular bracing, and play them back to back? Then we would really know. And of course, the first thing you think when they don't do that is that they don't want to do it because it won't fare as well as the others. But at the end of the day, it's the age of the internet and comparing things, and that's what we need to hear. And I'll also go as far as to say, if it doesn't sound as good as those other guitars, they shouldn't have released it. So that's how I honestly feel. But that's why I have the channel, and that's why I'm willing to make that comparison. I don't want to put that money on my credit card. I don't want to have to ship it back. I don't even really want to make the video if I end up saying I don't like how it sounds, because then that's, I feel rude in a way. But, that's what I do, and I have to do it, and I want to do it. But I just think we're in an age now where these things should be done. They should be done. Martin should have already done that comparison in-house, and it should be clearly better. I don't want to see a graph. I want them to say, yep, we did a test with 10 experienced musicians and 10 non-experienced musicians, and the Inception came out on top. Great. And that's why we released it. Great. And we're sending one around to different YouTubers. They can borrow it if they want to, and they can make their own video with it. And then you can watch 20 videos, and you can watch our in-house video, and then make a decision if you want to buy it or not. But unfortunately, we have to wait for people to get them in their hands to really know now. And even change the strings. Kind of annoying, because strings are expensive now. Noah says, I bring my expensive guitars to most open mics and gigs. However, there are like 3 places I play that I will only take my lessons. But yeah, fair enough. Like the Baton Rouge or SC10. Fair enough. And I'll always keep a guitar for that very reason. And I also don't let people play my guitars. Sometimes people kind of expect you to let them play your guitar. They'll literally just walk up and reach out. Well, I'm just kind of a jerk about it. I'm just like, no, sorry, no. I just shut people down straight away. And I've had bad experiences with that. I've had people break the output jack. I've had people knock the guitar into things. I've had lots of things happen like that. And probably because the guitar is so expensive, that's why I don't do it. Sometimes, on the flip side of that, I'm not saying people shouldn't do that, because some nights people let me play their guitars, and they'll offer for me to play a song, and they'll offer to lend me the guitar, and I'll happily do it if I want to do it. But it's got to be a personal decision, and I think a lot of that does come down to how much is that guitar to buy, because clearly that affects it. Maybe it shouldn't affect things as much. Maybe it's wrong of me to loan out a $200 guitar and not a $2,000 guitar. I don't know. But I have had dings in guitars, and you can't really get them out. People say you can steam them out and fix them. It's not. Once you get those dings, you got them. And they're not a deal breaker. And if you've done it at your gig and it's like a memento of that gig, that's one thing. But if some drunk patron tripped over walking off stage with your $4,000 guitar and put a crack in the top, no, I'm just not willing to risk it. I'm sorry. If it's successful, they might make a modern deluxe version. Modern deluxe version wouldn't make sense, would it? Because it'd be a different. They wouldn't use those woods. I'm surprised there's not a modern deluxe GPC with all their technology and the Evo frets. And actually, that's probably the guitar I would buy. a modern deluxe. But then again, they have the thin necks on the modern deluxe, and I don't like that. So this one has the regular necks. So I'll probably still get this one. John said I was expecting 3,400. Well, don't forget, there's still a few places in the USA that don't collect sales tax, and there's still a few places that will do certain times of the year 15% off, sometimes 20% off in certain holidays. So you can probably get it for that price if you wait a while. Rex says, I agree the guitar should have been available. Think it might be up your alley. I've been contemplating a PRS SE594. Back to watching videos and looking to play one. Prices are very competitive. Yeah, the SEs have been on sale, most of them. That's the thing, Rex. It is completely up my alley. If it had stainless steel frets, there'd probably be nothing else on the market that's as up my alley, aside from the Maitons and the Cole Clarks. So it is, yes. And I agree, it looks Taylor-esque, but I think the Taylors look great. For me, it's about the sound. What does it sound like? I remember a guy that had dropped a pull cue 3 times onto a hardwood floor come to ask me if he could play my guitar. Exactly. Rex was asking me, what do I recommend now over the Voice Live 3 as it's out of stock? Well, the good news is that Music Tribe will be at NAMM, and they have told me at TC Electronic that they are going to be handling TC Helicon products, and they've been developing, not a new version, but they've been using new components to bring them back to market. So hopefully I'll have more information about that after the NAMM show. I believe we're going to have more TC pedals, the Play Acoustic, the Voice Live 3 Extreme. They should be available again in a few months' time, and I'll definitely be talking about that. I'd like to speak to them about doing a relaunch with them. I'd like to feature it on the channel almost as a new product, even though it's not, clearly not. It's like 12 years old. But I'd like to feature the TC pedals in a new light on the channel because I just think they're so wonderful. Michael, how you doing? You see, Michael is someone that will let me play his guitar at a gig, you see. And I do appreciate it. But there's many factors that come into that as well. What if you've just bought a brand new guitar? Like if you've just bought the Inception for $4,000 and you're using it for the first time at your first gig, are you going to let someone else play it at that gig? I don't know. If it's been a year and it's got some dings in it, I think that's different, right? Like, I don't want you to be the first person to put a ding in my guitar. I'd be very mad. $4,000, Eddie. Let's bring it up on here. And then we'll finish with a little NAMM preview. Let me know if there's anything at NAMM you want me to check out in particular. Yeah, I should have bought the used one because I don't think Sweetwater would have minded at all if I'd returned it, as it had so many dings on it anyway. So I really should have just ordered it straight away. But there we go. I could have ordered that one, done all my demos with it, and send it back, and then it would have been great for the whole community, wouldn't it? And then if I really loved it, I could have then said, look, I want a new one when you get them in. I thought they were going to have them sooner. It said on here a few days, so I thought they'll have brand new ones soon, and they didn't have them. So yeah, 4,000 plus tax. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. In a few months' time, they'll probably give you a discount on them. And of course, if you are going to buy one, then make sure you use my affiliate link. Thank you. Hey, I'm joking, but I'm actually serious. So, yeah. I know. I really like it. Look, it's got the gold tuners and the kind of yellow bags preamp or controls. So I do wish it had gold fret wire as well. I think the gold Evo fret on this would have looked amazing. But I did hear recently they're running out of Evo fret wire. I just think it looks great. Look at that. I love the binding. I love the back. I love the regular neck shape. I love the anthem. I got some information on the anthem. I'm not sharing it yet because I'm going to put it into a video. But I've got a cool thing to tell you about the anthem soon. Also, I'm going to be trying the new bags pickup at the show. I'm going to take my Tascam handheld recorder, and I can literally just plug in a guitar cable straight in and hit record and play like any new pickup systems into the recorder. And then when I come back home, I can put them into a video, like new pickups I tried at NAMM. That's really cool. So, I'm sorry, I really like it. I want to play it so bad. Sorry. All right, I'm staying at the Marriott, which is right next door to the show. So I could potentially run back to the hotel and go live at some point. So do subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. There'll be a video this week on the Fishman Livebox Micro. Please watch it. Please leave a comment on it because it helps out Fishman and me and the channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 views per video these days. So if you see me post a video, please watch it, even if you don't like the product, even if you're not interested in the product. Right? Even if you don't plug in your acoustic, please watch the amp video anyway, just to help me out. But I'm kind of sad to see there's no basement floor. There's a lot of empty booths upstairs. It's sad, but there's also a lot of companies going and some really cool rumored products that are coming out that I think is going to make this a great show. And, there's also a lot of things going on around the show that I'm going to be going to. On Tuesday, I arrive on the Monday. The next day on the Tuesday, when NAMM isn't even open yet, and they're still setting it up, Line 6 and Yamaha have an open day. Unfortunately, it's far away, and I'm not going to have a car there, but I'm going to try to go. I'm going to try my absolute best to go to that for the day and learn about Yamaha. I hope Yamaha have new products too. That'd be great. The Wednesday, I do have an exhibitor pass. I can get in there Wednesday while people are setting up. I may be able to see some previews of products that I could potentially post about. So again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That may happen. That happened to me in 2020. I previewed the... I got some of the exclusive stuff I got was like the Ambex, which is still not out, by the way. But that was a very successful video. Got 20,000 views because I was the first one to see it. So that would be cool. I'm going to be in that place very, very early. Don't tell anyone. I'll be creeping around. And then they open on the Thursday, and then there's going to be loads of events and things throughout the week. I'm going to try to attend as much as I can and do as much networking as I can. But yeah, I looked up here on level 2. I was sad to see that some of the rooms are empty. No, obviously no PRS. PRS used to have like 4 rooms in a row. They're not doing that this year. So I am concerned for the future of the NAMM show. At the same time, a lot of people are going to this show, and more than last year from what I can gather. So I think it's going to be a really good show, and I think that this will determine what happens next. Yeah. And I do think there'll be some cool products that we haven't seen yet. I think we'll see products this week. We might see information on the SC28 tomorrow from Martin, because they tend to like to, they tend to like to show products before the show, so they don't get kind of eaten up in all the news, Let me see here. I just saw the monkey. The monkey doesn't really bother me because I don't think it's inappropriate. But yeah, I suppose it's kind of not relative to the conversation. So please refrain from putting your monkey on the screen. All right. Look, Eddie, no, come on. Think of the R&D that went into the Inception. Or do me a favor, at least wait until I've played it. Right? What if I tell you it's the best guitar I've ever played in my entire life and I would pay double for it? That could happen. Let's keep an open mind until I've played it. I used to be protective over my guitars in my own home. If the person's sitting on the couch, they'll be fine. Well, you don't know that. Years ago, my output jack got broken. You don't know that. You're always welcome to play my guitars. I trust you because you're a great player and you have respect for people and instruments. True, but I still can trip over when I walk onto the stage, especially your stage, because you have the monitor on the floor and your pedal board and everything on the floor. So whenever I get up to play your guitar, I'm always like very, very... Oh, no, I don't play a guitar. I play my guitar, right? But yeah, that when I'm playing my guitar, I'm very careful of how I get up on this onto the mic because you got all the monitor and everything down there. No, I don't know. If Martin were worried about sustainability, they could have put stainless steel fret. I did think that, T. I did think that. And Plec Pro. Thin body, lightweight, hollow guitars made from reclaimed redwood. Are they going to be there? I don't know. I don't know who that is. Formerly known as T, 2,500 would have been a fair price. And why a 3-piece back? Well, 3-piece backs are all about that. They're in line with sustainability. That's why. They're also claiming that the 3-piece back warms up the tone. We shall see. We shall see. I don't agree. Well, do I? I don't know. Part of me agrees with you about 2,500 because it's made from sustainable wood and is satin finish. Yes. But on the other hand, it's built in Nazareth and has a ton of R&D, years of R&D and computer stuff gone into it. So maybe that would put me up to like $3,000, which is what I said earlier, right? $3,000. Maybe it should be made in Mexico then. I mean, it is funny in a way because Martin used to make guitars in Mexico from sustainable materials and they were the cheap guitars. Now they're making guitars in Nazareth from sustainable materials and they're more expensive than the standard series. It's a little bit concerning, I agree. John says, I'll watch your NAMM coverage. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to film, obviously. I thought maybe on opening day I could go live and walk around and like live stream from the hall and just walk around and just like first person style. I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but I'm mostly going there to see what's new and network with people, you know. But you never know it now and what's going to happen. Show topic: great backup guitars to use for gigs when you don't want to take. Yeah, I know, but I wouldn't be able to do that video, Rex, because that's not how I feel. Well, it is how I feel. Like I said earlier, I'm contradicting myself, but I do have those thoughts, and I have looked at. You know, I do believe the PRS SE guitars with a great setup are great gigging guitars, and they can also be very versatile. Acoustic wise, I mean, I got the Baton Rouge for that. I don't love that guitar. Like the neck is a bit too thick for me, so I probably wouldn't gig it. I don't know. When I play an acoustic show, I want to be 100% satisfied. I actually went to Guitar Center last week, and the manager there does gigs. He actually plays a gig that I used to play, and he said to me, he said that very thing to me. He said, I won't take an expensive guitar to my gigs anymore because they get damaged. I've just got a cheaper guitar to take. And I said to him, well, I just bought a more expensive Cole Clark to take because I want to feel like my absolute best at a gig. So that's really what it comes down to. There is no answer. It's all about you. It's like when people say the audience don't care. You're probably right. They probably don't care, but it affects how you play and how you feel, and that's important because we all know when we play a gig and we're not having, you know, we feel people aren't watching, we feel people aren't listening, we feel our sounds off, there's some feedback, yet the gig's always horrible, right? But when you feel like the guitar tone's great and it feels great and you've got good sound, great sound, and then it just brings you up a level. There's definitely truth in that. NAMM live streams are usually noise filled unless you're watching a performance. I did see someone do one last year that I really enjoyed. They just walked around with their phone, and I think they may have had a microphone, lapel mic, they could give to someone as well. So I'm tempted to do it, and then if it really doesn't work out and it's a waste of time, I can just delete it. Tempted to. Because it was kind of cool. People were watching with them and saying, go to this booth, and then what was that, and can you check out that? I don't know. I agree it's too noisy to do that. I was actually thinking about doing that before this. I was going to be really sneaky, BMO. Because I got the exhibitor pass, I was thinking about going in Thursday morning where they open the doors at this. I think they open the doors at 9ish, 9 or 10. So let's say they open the doors at 9. I was thinking about walking around at 8 for an hour before the doors open. Possibly with my mic, lapel mic, and another mic I could give to someone to talk into. I don't know. I need to test. I've got so much to do this week. I need to test that system to see if it would actually work. The very least, I could just 8 a.m. stick the phone on my backpack and walk around the hall for an hour with the internal mic just to show you what the place looks like and get a feel for it, and then post content throughout the week, or wait till I get home to post content. I don't want to be stressed. You know, I don't. Sometimes the NAMM videos don't get many views anyway, unless it's a major release. And I'd much rather make videos at home in the controlled environment, obviously. If Sir have a stall, can you check out the Bella? And if Freeman have a new vintage range? Sir do have a stall, and I hope they won't kick me out of it after all the stuff we went through last year. But I do like their guitars, and I want to try the Pete Thorne HSS. I hope they have one in red. Yeah. All right. Say hi to Rev from Poo Ninja. I will. In fact, that would be a good clip, wouldn't it? Poo Ninja says hi. All right, I'm going to wrap up. I have to now go away. I'm going to film a video tonight about the Fishman Loudbox amps. Please watch it when you see it go up. It would really help me out. I don't have a crazy week this week, but I've been selling more stuff. Stuff is starting to sell again. If you're looking to sell things, it's definitely selling now more than it was. So I have to ship some stuff. I have to put some guitars for sale and do some things like that. I have to get my gear ready for NAMM. I have to practice with it. I have to get my head straight. I have to get some sleep because there's going to be a crazy week. I really don't know what's going to happen. So basically, tomorrow you'll probably see this Fishman video. Like I said, please check that out. I might post another video during the week. I really don't know. So just subscribe, ring the bell, turn on notifications. You might find next week at NAMM I just suddenly go live. So just jump in and don't be disappointed if it is. If there's a technical problem, then it's a technical problem. I'll just delete the video. But I don't even know what the Wi-Fi will be like or anything like that. I'll definitely do my best. And I'll definitely do some pre-recorded videos. But again, I don't know how they're going to turn out. So you may see them, you may not. But what I will do when I get back home is I will do a summary video talking about how it was, and that'll be the most important thing, I think. Rosanna and Lee, thanks for moderating. Always appreciate your time and support with the channel. Thank you, everyone. Yep, I'm getting excited. So, like I said, I don't want to promise I'll do anything. So, you may not see me, apart from this Fishman video, you may not see me for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but I am out doing gear stuff to make more content for the channel when I do come back for the regular live streams. I think it's all going to be worthwhile for the channel. But on the other hand, I may do loads of videos. So like I said, subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll be notified of what's going on. All right, I'm going to head out. Have a great week. Stay warm. Watch out for that snow. Hopefully this doesn't hit us too bad tomorrow. And also, feel free to follow me on Instagram, Aaron Short Music. I might put some pictures on there. And also, there's a community section on the YouTube channel. I might put some pictures in there. So some people don't know about that. You can click on the community on YouTube on the channel, and there's like a place I can post pictures and text in there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of getting nervous and excited. Weird. I haven't traveled to Anaheim in 4 years. It's been 4 years since I went there, so it kind of all feels new again. All right, thanks everyone. I'll be in touch. Keep in touch, and have a great week. Thanks again. Bye-bye.